Oh. Hi, I'm Max Rand. I'm giving a speech today on the different styles of management. Would you guys please, guys and girls, please introduce yourselves?
I'm Philip Rogers from Florida,
What part of Florida?
the Tampa area. I'm up here visiting.
Linda Eddington from Central Florida.
Haley Thurston from St. Augustine, Florida.
I'm Kristen Jones from Southern Maryland.
I also want to add that I'm very interested in this topic because I think it's very critical at this particular time and having experienced managers on the continuum. I'm very interested in what you have to say.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. All right, so first, before I start diving into the speech, I thought I'd give a story. And the story I'm going to talk about my own personal experience with management. Currently, I'm a personal trainer, but before that, I was in restaurant business for, say, 8 to 10 years. Doing so, I worked my way up from delivery driver with Domino's Pizza and Pizza Hut to eventually becoming a manager and becoming a manager for one of the top grossing Domino's in Prince George's County. With that said, before I did the research for this project, I noticed myself when I first started managing that I really favored one style management just because I was new to it. I had little experience. With little experience, you tend not to really trust the people that you work with and you kind of keep them on a short leash, which is understandable, but at the end of the day, as you build up more trust with your employees, it definitely goes hand in hand because they trust you more as well. So as I continued to grow with my employees over the years, I noticed that not only did our trust grow, our productivity grew, and also work performance grew. With that said, we're going to talk about the different styles of management. Good management increases productivity, it boosts morale, and improves the business's overall success. Now, bad management, on the other hand, it can lead to job dissatisfaction, turnover, negative work performance. The Journal of Occupational Health Psychology says that the supervisor-subordinate relationship, the relationship between the manager and employees, is one of the lead causing factors of stress in the workplace. Of the three management styles, I believe that the democratic management is the best way to manage your employees. First, let's go into autocratic management. Autocratic management can be defined as being fully responsibility of all actions. What that means is pretty much everything that comes in with management, the manager is in charge for. They don't consult their employees at all. The Personal Public Management Journal quote says micromanagement controls the enterprise in every aspect. Let's take an example. Say that you're assigned a project from your manager and you're working on your project, and while working on that project, your manager's constantly emailing you, calling you on the phone, hey, what's going on with my project? Hey, you didn't text me last night, I'm worried about the project. It can lead to job dissatisfaction. Your employees are not going to be happy with the constant reminders. It also shows a lack of trust. Dr. White of the Personal Project Management quote says, micromanagement abhors mistakes. They consider their employees incompetent, and sooner or later the employees lose their respect and trust. Now, another interesting style of management that's kind of the opposite of autocratic management is laissez-faire. Laissez-faire can be useful and effective in small businesses. Say, for instance, you're running a startup, a tech company for maybe 10 to 25 employees. You've hired people that are competent, people that you trust, and you've had a little bit of time to get to know them. Laissez-faire is very effective. But what laissez-faire is you are essentially your own boss. You control your deadlines, you control your work productivity. The manager is still there, but the manager is more so in charge of mediating and stepping in only when necessary. Now you may be thinking, gosh, I should be my own boss, right? Wouldn't that be the greatest thing in the world? Exactly. Well, yes and no. For the people that are capable of handling such responsibilities, it's a great thing. In a larger organization of, say, 50 or more people, it's not feasible. People have different personalities. people work differently. It helps to have somebody step in when there's work conflict, but it's also helpful to get guidance when, say, you're stuck on a certain project or task. The last type of management we're going to go over is democratic management. Democratic management, it may sound like the whole group makes the actual decision. It's more so the employees are consulted with, and the decisions are a reflection of what they think as a whole, and then the manager makes the decision at the end. One of the ways that democratic management is characterized is managed by walking around. Now, this is very effective. Say you're a boss and you spend all your time in your office, but you don't really have an idea what's going on in the business. It's very beneficial to walk around, talk to employees. Say you meet Bob, and Bob's a IT tech, and you're trying to say, hey, we've had some problems with IT. Well, if you're just in the office looking at reports and you're not talking to people that work for you, you might not get a good feel of what's going on in the business. The International Journal of Global Business cites employees feel valued when a democratic leader shares the vision of an organization. Employees tend to do their best work under a democratic manager. In summary, an effective manager must have the ability to transition between management styles when the time calls for it. Some management styles are better in certain situations. Overall, though, democratic management, in terms of consulting your employees and seeing what their feel is on certain viewpoints, is very beneficial, will increase productivity, and lead to better health for the business. Thank you. Does anybody have any questions?
I do, yes. Are there is there such thing as a crossover manager, a manager that starts out in one style and possibly sees his faults and mistakes and crosses over to the other style?
Well, it's funny you should say that, because I actually was, in the beginning of the story, that's kind of my personal experience. As I was doing my research too, I learned that if you're in a time crunch, say for instance you have a crisis in your business, say something happened that was out the blue, it helps to implement something like autocratic managing, because you don't have to consult employees. Say that you're at the top of your organization and you know that what you're going to do is best for your business. There are times where being that authoritative manager is recommended, and it wouldn't make much sense to call a bunch of people and get their opinions before managing.
Good point.
Anybody else?
No, I think you did really great. That really taught me a lot about management. Thank you.